Module 5, Lesson 6, Area in the Real World. So, yes, you need to know area for your real math class, but also real world. Over February, they painted the walls in the classroom. So like you said, if we look at the cinder blocks on the wall, that represents the area of the wall. So they needed to know the area of the wall so they knew how much paint they needed to cover the surface of the wall. What's another example of area in our real world? Okay, they have to calculate the area of a parking lot when they're drawing the paints, or they need to know how many cars would fit. So area of a parking lot. What about in Family Consumer Science this year? When did you need to know area?
You had to know how big your pillow would be and the cloth.
The area of the fabric so that it was big enough for your pillow. That's right.
A bookshelf. How big it has to be.
Okay, how much space would a bookshelf? So actually, when you go to the store and you're going to buy a bookshelf, well, what's the area of the bookshelf? Will it fit on my wall, or will it stick out into the doorway? Will there be enough room? My husband bought a TV, and the area of the TV is bigger than the cabinets. We had to cut holes in the sides of the cabinet to get the TV to fit. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that one. Okay, one more example. Excuse me? What about a fence? A fence has area. It does. A fence would have area. But really, when we think of fence, we think of perimeter, because a fence would go around the perimeter of the pool, around the perimeter of our yard. But if we had to paint the fence, just the one side, I would need to know the area of the fence so I knew how much paint to buy.
Like the surface area of
if we're wrapping a paper, I need to know the area of the paper to make sure I have enough to cover all the areas of a box. Absolutely, architects use area all the time. Construction workers, look down. The ceiling, the tiles on the floor give us the area of the floor. Look up. We need to know the area of the ceiling so you know how many ceiling tiles you would have to buy. So area is your kitchen table. How many of you have a tablecloth on your dining room table or your kitchen table? You need to know the area so that you can buy I have so many tablecloths that are either that short or have that much hanging off the edge of each side of the dining room table. So we're going to do things a little differently today. I did not like the activity in Lesson 6 because in Lesson 6 they had you going around the room and finding area of objects. So here's the problem. I know that sounds really cool and I want you to explore, but I don't know if you're right or wrong. If everybody's measuring different things, how do I know if you're finding the correct area? The area of the smartboard, the area of the door, the area of the windows. If you're buying curtains for your window, you need to know the area of your window, so you need to know the area of your curtain so that it covers it. So what we're going to do, we're going to go a little crazy, and we're going to do number 1 on the problem set. They didn't give you enough room, so I made a note sheet for you just like yesterday. So the note sheet from the outbox, please put in your binder between pages 27 and 28. Please put your note page between pages 27 to 28. No. So tonight's homework, if you looked at the homework board, on the problem set, which was page 28, you need to do number 2, so if you want to circle number 2. You have to do number 4, so if you want to circle number 4 for tonight. You also have to do number 5 on the back, but notice number 5 has 4 parts. And this is to all be done on loosely to make sure you have enough room. All right, so now we're going to work on problem set number 1. But we're going to do it on the note sheet that I gave you.
Isn't that really a TV?
Oh, maybe it was a family room, but I guess in the living room they went with the mirror. Okay. So below is a drawing of a wall. that is to be covered with either wallpaper or paint. It is 8 feet high and 16 feet long. The window, mirror, and fireplace will not be painted or papered. So the window measures 18 by 14, the fireplace, blah, 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 blah. So what I want you to do right now is label the picture with the measurements using the information in the paragraph. Okay, so let's take a look at how you should have your picture labeled. Anybody notice something? You're like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Put the calculators down. We don't need them right now. Hi. Well, what?
Like, the window is like 18
And the height of the wall is only 8. What's up with that? That's 18, but that's 8? What? Common Core is making some mistakes. What, Michael?
Windows 18 inch.
Oh. So, what should I do to keep consistency? To make it, because I cannot multiply 18 inches by 14 feet to find the area. I can't do that. What am I going to do? Yeah. Yes, very good. So 18 inches is how many feet? 18 inches,
1.5.
that's 12 inches and 6 inches. So that's 1 foot. How many feet is 6 inches?
1/2.
I'm going to give you 2 choices. How many people want to say 0.5 and how many people want to say 0.6? If you want to say 0.5, raise your hand. If you want to say 0.6, raise your hand. Yes. Okay. Some people do, seriously, let's focus on this. Some people automatically think that would be 1.6. But 6 out of 12 is a half. So it's not 0.6. That's a mistake that some people would make. And it's a mistake that kind of makes sense.
Can you write 1/2 as a fraction?
You could, but it's easier, personally, my personal choice is that it's easier to multiply a decimal than a fraction. You do what works for you, okay? That's why we have different strategies. Personally, I want a decimal. So I'm going to change that to 1.5 feet in my picture. All right. So what's our strategy to figure out how much wallpaper I need to buy? Remember, I'm going to wallpaper the whole wall, but I'm not going to wallpaper the window, the mirror, or the fireplace. So what's my strategy? What's my approach? What should I do?
You should find the area of the wall and subtract the window mirror.
I'm going to find the area of the whole wall, subtract the window, subtract the mirror, subtract the fireplace. So let's do that. How do I find the area of the total wall? Everybody, except for a small few in this class, like half of my class 6 period, forgot to do this. So let's review. What's my first step? What's my first step? I know you know it. What do I have to do? Write the, thank you very much. Write the formula. And Missy May over there, what's my next step? Replace the letters with the numbers. Thank you, you two. So my base is 16, my height is 18. You have your calculators. Go. Please make sure you're taking accurate notes because you want to use these notes to help you with the homework. All right, but now I have to find the window so that I don't get the wallpaper for the window. Shh. So what's my first step? Write the formula. What's my second step? replace, what am I doing? The window. So the window is 14 times 1.5. So what's the area of the window? The fireplace. And the fireplace is, I did that wrong. Okay. Yay! So now I add them all up and I'm done? No. What? What do I have to do? Well, tell me what to do. Oh, you have a question? I'm sorry. What was your question?
The window area, it says 21 feet, but I just realized that you put 15 and...
No, it's 14 times 1.5. 1.5, okay? But now what am I going to do to find the area of what I need? What am I going to do? Right, so I'm going to subtract the total of all the other areas that I don't need, that I'm cutting out. So 128 minus, what is 21 plus 15 plus 8? What'd you say? So what is 128 minus 44? I love the way you labeled your answer. Very good, my friend. Okay, questions on any of this? Put the calculator down so we're not distracted right now. So we continue. 3, 2. Okay. Any questions on where those numbers came from? Why did I add? Why did I subtract? What? Good. What's your question?
Why did you subtract?
Because I don't want to wallpaper this. I don't want to wallpaper that. I don't want to wallpaper that. So I have to cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. So I'm subtracting those areas from the total square because I don't need wallpaper for those. So I'm going to subtract that area, subtract that area. Because wallpaper is expensive. I'm not buying wallpaper if I'm not going to put it over those places. Because look, that's 44 square yards that I'm not going to wallpaper. So why am I going to buy it and pay for it? Okay? Yeah. I know. All right, so now we know how much wallpaper we need. So we go to the store. I have a wall that's 84 square feet. And so you pick out the color that you like, and the salesman says to you, well, we sell rolls that are 18 inches wide and 33 feet long. All right, so how many rolls do I need? So let's figure out the area of one roll of wallpaper to see if there's enough on one roll of wallpaper. So how am I going to find the area of the roll?
Area equals base times.
Love that you started with the formula.
Area equals 18. So 33 times 18.
Careful. 18 inches equals what? Now, could we have changed 33 feet into inches? Yeah, but that would have been like annoying, but it would have worked. You could do that. So what is 33 times 1.5? Somebody refresh my memory. What was the area of the wall that I was going to wallpaper?
84.
What the heck is that? 84 feet squared. So is one roll going to be enough? No. All right, so let me see. If I have 84, I have to divide it by 49.5. About how much is that? So my whole wall that I need is 84. I have to divide it into sections of 49.5 because that's the roll of paper. That's the area of the wall that I'm going to wallpaper. That's the area of one roll. So what'd you get? Yeah, it keeps repeating. So let's just estimate it to 1.7. But if I say to the salesman, can I have 1.7 rolls? They're going to be like, no, you have to buy
2 of them.
2. No, I hear that even when I don't go to the wallpaper store. Okay. So we need to buy 2 rolls of wallpaper. Yes. We could have just keep subtracting and see how many times, because remember, division is repeated subtraction. So what did you want to do? 84 minus 49.5? And then again, see how many times you could subtract it?
No, I thought you just did it.
But if I did it once, I would see that I still needed more. I would have to keep going. See how many groups of 49.5 I will need for the whole 84 feet wall. Well, suppose we did want to paint. Because, well, first of all, before we decide, because they did say that in the beginning, do we want a wallpaper, do we want to paint? Because wallpaper has like a texture to it, and sometimes it's easier to clean. So, really, what does it usually come down to? How much is it going to cost? So, how many rolls of wallpaper did we say we needed? 2. Well, woohoo, they're on sale. Yeah. So it's $11.99 per roll. So how much is it going to cost? So $11, and why couldn't it just be $12? Times 2 rolls is how much for the wallpaper? Yes, sir. You've been participating a lot lately. I like it. $23.98. You labeled the other one correctly. Let's label this one correctly. All right. So that's how much it's going to cost for the wallpaper. But again, it's going to be a solid color. Well, the reason they had to tell you solid color is because otherwise you'd get into other rolls and stuff. So, so $23.98. But really, if we're going to go with a solid wallpaper, maybe painting would be cheaper or better or easier. So let's see if we decide to paint, how much that would cost. So remind me again, what was the area of the wall?
84.
All right. Now, here's the thing. The wall needs 2 coats of paint. So what would be the area then? I had to speak to that table yesterday about being distracted. This is your last warning for today again. So what would I have to do to figure out how much paint?
84 plus 84, which is 168.
So we could add it twice, or we can multiply it by 2. So we need 168 square feet of paint to put 2 coats on the wall. Are we okay with why we multiplied it or added it? Are we all comfortable with how we got that? So we need 2 coats of paint.
I just have a question. On the card it says $29.99, but in our notes it says $22.99.
Oh, I may have just recopied it incorrectly. It's because I have to retype everything because it loses its formatting when I put it on Smartboard, which is so much fun. All right. So now, 1 gallon of paint covers 200 square feet. Is 1 gallon of paint going to be enough? I need,
Yes.
Yes.
for 2 coats, it's going to be 168. The gallon does 200. So is 1 enough? God bless you. So I only need 1 gallon of paint. Then that will cost me $22.99. So let's take it one step further. What would be cheaper? What would you rather do? What would be cheaper, to paint or wallpaper? Everybody? Painting would definitely be cheaper. Okay? So in closing, we talked about real life situations that we use area. Floor covering, carpet, tiles, wallpaper, paint, fabric, wrapping a present. If you the school that my kids go to, their track was falling apart, their football field was falling apart, so they installed turf. So they needed to know the area of the football field, stop playing with that please, to install the turf. It's getting nice outside. We had a rough winter, so a lot of concrete patios might have cracked. So if you're getting new brick or pavers or even a wooden deck or patio, you're going to need to know your area.
Bathroom's getting redone.
Nice.
Is like measuring.
I'm sure they're measuring the floor for the tiles. If they're getting the bathroom redone, the walls, are you going to tile the wall? You're going to use a tub surround? Yep, absolutely. Okay, and we have to be careful also, because some measurements might be in feet and some measurements might be in inches. So how many inches are in a foot? 12. How many inches are in a square foot? How many inches? So here's a square foot. So that's 1, which is really 12 inches, 12 inches. So how many inches are in a square foot? 144 inches in a square foot. Exactly. So on your homework, on loose leaf, 2, 4, and all of 5, and your notes are going to help you with your homework, so make sure you have them with you.